KSTC.
Hi, I'm Bob Jensen. This is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. An overlooked technique for catching walleyes is chasing them when they're in the wood. Today, Clay Norris and I are going to join Joe Honer in the northeast corner of South Dakota. We're going to catch walleyes in the wood. Watch this.
I'm sure you've heard of catching largemouth bass in wooded areas, and lots of folks catch crappies out of wooded cover, but have you ever caught walleyes out of wood? I mean right in the trees? They're there more than you think. I've taken walleyes out of wood in the backwaters of the Mississippi River and in reservoirs, but never have I caught them out of timber like I did one day last fall. Clay Norris and I were looking for a place to go fishing. We heard that Joe Honer, a guide in northeast South Dakota, was on a really good walleye bite. That's all we needed to know. Clay and I met Joe at Roy Lake Lodge near Lake City, South Dakota in mid-October. It had been rainy and windy, but it looked like we had a window of nice weather on the way. We got the boat in the water and headed out onto the lake. We were going to be fishing for walleyes with jigs, but we had no live bait in the boat. Joe said all we needed were gulp minnow grubs, 3-inch size in yellow. The spot we started on was a traditional looking walleye spot. A point with some rock rubble, good looking spot, no walleyes. We worked down the bank a ways to a good bassy looking spot. As soon as we got into the trees, the action started, and it wasn't from bass. The area was alive with walleyes, and they wanted to eat our gulp.
Where was he, Joe? Right by that tree?
Yeah, right under the tree.
Right by the tree. Oh. Whoa. Is that a nice? That's a pretty nice one, isn't it? Looks nice to me.
15-incher.
Yeah. Can you swing him?
Yeah, I can. Grab him here.
There.
He took it good.
There he is.
There we go.
There he is.
Oh, there was one right by the boat.
Was it really?
Yep.
He really whacked it.
There we are.
Right there. Nothing wrong with that stuff, is there? Look at that. He wanted it. Huh. Good. Whoa, that's a nice one, Clay.
Yeah,
look at that. Here, I'll
get him in there.
we'll do it that way.
There we are.
Look how far down he had that. He was hungry. Look at how far down that is.
Yep, well, they annihilate that gulp.
They did. Boy. Fish. Whoa. They're right there.
You're probably better than I
Look
at
that.
extracting this without damaging the
Whoa.
fish.
These are some pretty nice fish, Joe.
Yeah, they're
Did you
real
know
nice.
that?
Real
look
nice
at that.
fish in here.
This one is almost too big to swing, but I'm going to swing him anyway.
Catching them fast and furious.
I'm using 10-pound line here. I don't think I would have swung him with lighter stuff. He's got it all the way down there, too. Look at that guy. They're just inhaling these things. Just eating it right up. Huh. Clay, there's a lot of lines available now. We're fishing kind of vertically right in these trees. How would you determine which line to use for that particular?
Well, what I chose was fire line. I mean, part of the deal with these trees is, you know, you can get hung up every once in a while, but you can get loose with the fire line, which is nice. And, you know, even though they're inhaling it, they kind of hit it light, and you can feel it so well.
Fish. There you go, Clay.
Fish on.
Fish on. Whoa.
This is a big one, or bigger.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at it.
Yeah, it's a nice
Sure.
fish. Or he's feisty.
Feisty.
Huh. That gulp, they just smack it. Here, Mr. Walleye. Right. There we go. Nice South Dakota walleye. They're smacking it pretty good. At least this one didn't inhale it like others we've caught.
Joe, you know, so much of the time we think of largemouth bass and crappies as being fish that hang out in the trees. In these waters out here in northeast South Dakota, do you find the trees hold a lot of walleyes frequently? Like that one right there?
Yeah. Anytime you got a cold front or a lot of heat, like a lot of sun, we've got, they seem to pull into the brush just like they would in trees in Minnesota, or in the weeds in Minnesota. Keep the boat humming here.
Beautiful looking fish.
Yeah, they're nice fish.
They are.
There's a lot of them in here. South Dakota has a minimum of 14 and 16 on a lot of their lakes, so you get quality fish.
Fishing the Midwest is being brought to you by Gulp. Outfishes all other bait. Humminbird, simply, clearly better. And Abu Garcia. Abu Garcia for life.
Trilene Max, our best trilene ever.
The casts fly farther. The strikes hit harder. The fish get bigger. The smiles stretch wider when you're using the right gear. Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter. Quality, selection, satisfaction guaranteed. Call us toll-free, shop online, or visit one of our many retail stores.
Oh, it's great to be back out on the ice. Ooh, what the heck? Hey, man, get off the ice. We got a game starting. Shelter's so hot, you can't wait to get out on the ice. See what it's all about at whatisgt.com.
Hey, ice fishermen, if you want to catch bull bluegill, slab, crappie, jumbo perch, and wall-hanging walleye, you need the new Super Glow lures from Northland Fishing Tavern. Turn fish on with our new Super Glow jigs, the lifelike forage minnow jigs and spoons, and the buckshot rattle spoons that shake, rattle, and roll. Look for the Northland bright yellow label. And remember, if Northland makes it, the fish is gonna take it.
You're gonna love it.
They're up there, you know. I've been to the ship. I've seen things. I've smelled things.
Look, I'm trying to forage here.
They fool you with the smell. They got me, but I escaped.
Yeah, from the loony bin.
The scent was like a blood trail, but it's deception.
Get away from me.
Beware, my friend. Trust no one. Trust no one.
Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. This is some fast walleye action. Let's get back in the woods and see if we can catch some more walleyes.
All the way up there. You're on them.
I'm on.
Clay Norris is involved in marketing line at Berkeley. That means he has to know all about what anglers want in a fishing line. One of the lines we're using today is the new Fireline Crystal.
Clay, you said that's Fireline. It doesn't look like Fireline.
Well, it's a new type of fire line we've developed called Crystal. And Crystal, we've been working on it for many years. It is the first translucent superline. Yes, light passes through it. Not, absolutely gin clear, but, we can probably show you in the water. It's, when you look at it in the water, it almost disappears. Yet one advantage to it is that it's got a little bit of a whitish color to it. And, smoked fire line, you can't see it very well above the water. But this you can see, so you can pick up the strikes, but then underwater it just about disappears.
Joe prefers a line he can see better. He's using 8 and 10 pound test Trilene Sensation in the solar green color. This stuff glows. Joe explains why he prefers the bright line.
Okay, Clay, so your line that fireline crystal is invisible underwater. Joe, you're using solar green. That stuff glows. I mean, that's really bright. Why do you prefer that?
After using it for a lot of years in a lot of different water, I've never had, with all the clients I got in the boat using their lines, I've never had a situation where I got outfished. And the most important part is when you're casting jigs or even vertical jigging, you can see when your line hits the bottom. If you got a little wind, you can see that. It's like adding another sense to your bite, you know, the sight. You can see that little line twitch there, but you'd never even notice that bite if you just had regular line on. So I'm really sold on it, and I use it rigging too now. Helps be able to see where the fish or the other people's lines are too when you're running the boat.
I got one.
There's another one on.
Joe, do you usually let your guests catch more fish?
Well, if they're biting like this, I just kind of run the boat.
Jeepers.
There's a good one.
You get them too, it looks like, every now and then.
Oh, yeah. I get plenty of opportunity.
Any size to yours, Joe?
I think he's a normal one here.
Same stuff?
Same stuff, yeah.
Look at that, triple. Three at a time.
Three in the boat at the time.
3 at a time.
Hey, we can. There you go. They all look about clones of one another, too.
There's a lot of them in that 15 to 16 and a half.
Yeah.
We should bump into some 20s here.
Did you see how much bigger mine was, Clay?
Yeah. I think they were brother and sister.
That's the great thing about fishing. You can go about it in different ways and still be successful. You want to talk about successful? We're pulling them in as fast as we get our bait in the water. This is some of the fastest walleye fishing for good-sized fish that I've ever experienced.
That's a big walleye, too. A nice walleye. This has been a really productive drift.
Yeah, typical.
Whoa, look at this guy. You got a net, Clay?
Yeah, hang on.
This is one of those guys that... You want me to try to swing him? You want me to try to swing that guy? Look at there.
Oh, boy, that's a nice walleye.
Look at that guy.
He's fat.
Oh, yeah.
She, I guess.
Yeah. That's been a really productive drift right through here. Wind's blowing in, you know, this is the deal.
We're using 8 and 10-pound test Trilene Sensation and the new Trilene Max and 14.6 Fireline. 14.6 means 14-pound break strength, but the line is the same diameter as 6-pound test monofilament. Now this might be a little heavier than ordinary. Clay and Joe explain when to go with light line and when to go a little heavier.
You know, when we're fishing these trees, we're fishing pretty heavy cover, we naturally go with heavier line. But Clay, do you use the same line with live bait and jigs as you would soft bait and jigs?
Well, I think typically anglers use a little lighter line when they're jigging live bait. But with a soft bait like this, you know, and we're in these trees and everything, helps to have a little bit heavier line.
You can get by with the heavier line a lot better because you have the bigger jig, keeps the line from getting carried away. And then the plastic slows the fall, which is really important. With the minnow, you gotta go to a smaller jig and then the wind's throwing you around, so you gotta have the light line.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to keep in mind. Light jigs, live bait, light line. Big jigs with soft baits on it, heavier line just works better.
Fishing the Midwest is being brought to you by Trilene. Anglers trust Berkeley Trilene, America's strongest. Alumacraft Boats, more boat for your money. And Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitters.
Jay, those power fishermen bug me.
You still mad about that power bait incident?
Yeah, I'm chasing dinner, and I end up showing on a power bait beast.
Ooh, you should have spit it, Ike.
Yeah, but once I bit it, I didn't want to let go.
Oh, I hear you. Power bait frog.
Berkeley's got frogs, too.
And critters and hogs and power craws. And...